Story. HOA patrol trespassed after dark, didn't know Grandpa was waiting with his shotgun. The air hung heavy with the scent of jasmine and damp earth as the three women of the HOA patrol, Marjorie, Linda, and Susan, crept through the shadows of Old Man Carter's backyard. It was past midnight, and the quiet cul-de-sac of Willow Creek had long since gone to sleep. Marjorie, the self-appointed leader, clutched her flashlight like a weapon, its beams slicing through the darkness to reveal Carter's unruly garden. Roses spilling over fences, tomato vines choking the trellis, and daisies sprouting in defiant clumps. "This is a disgrace," she hissed, her voice sharp with righteous indignation. "He's violating every covenant in the book." Linda nodded, her lips pursed, while Susan, newer to the patrol, hesitated, glancing nervously at the darkened house. "Shouldn't we come back in the morning?" she whispered. Marjorie shot her a withering look. "We're here to enforce order, Susan. He's had his warnings." Carter's defiance had been the talk of the HOA for months. His refusal to trim his hedges, paint his mailbox, or pay the fines had escalated into a full-blown rebellion. Tonight, they decided to take matters into their own hands, armed with clipboards and a camera to document his violations. They didn't expect him to be awake. They didn't expect him to be armed. Inside the house, 78-year-old Amos Carter sat in his worn recliner, his gnarled hands wrapped around the cold steel of his father's old shotgun. Sleep had eluded him since his wife, Ellie, passed 2 years ago. The garden was her legacy, every flower a memory of her laughter, her touch. When the HOA started sending their letters, demanding he conform, it felt like they were trying to erase her. He'd ignored them, but tonight, he'd seen their flashlight beams from his window, their whispers carrying through the still air. His blood boiled. This was his land, his life. They had no right. The creak of a gate snapped his focus. He rose, slow but steady, and stepped onto the porch. The moonlight caught the glint of his gun as he leveled it at the trio. "Get off my property," he growled, his voice low but laced with steel. Marjorie froze, her flashlight trembling. "Mr. Carter, we're just doing our job," she stammered. But her usual bravado faltered under his unyielding gaze. Linda stepped forward, indignant. "You can't threaten us. We represent the community." Amos's eyes narrowed. "You represent control. This is my home. Leave. Now." The standoff stretched, taut as a wire. Susan's heart pounded. She joined the HOA to make friends, not enemies. She saw the pain in Amos's eyes, the way his hands shook not from fear but from rage. She opened her mouth to speak, but then movement in the shadows. A teenage boy, hoodie pulled low, emerged from the bushes, clutching a pair of shears. "I was just helping Mr. Carter trim the roses," he said, voice cracking. It was Tommy, the neighbor's grandson, who'd been sneaking over to help Amos tend the HOA's violations, out of respect for Ellie, who'd once taught him to read. Marjorie's eyes gleamed with triumph. "Vandalism," she snapped, raising her camera. "We'll have you both fined." Tommy's appearance shifted the power, emboldening her. She stepped closer, ignoring the shotgun. "You're finished?" Amos's finger tightened on the trigger. "One more step, and I swear," his voice broke, raw with grief. Susan, in a surge of clarity, grabbed Marjorie's arm. "Stop it," she cried. "Can't you see he's protecting what he loves? This isn't about rules, it's about humanity." The words hit like a slap. For a moment no one moved. Then, a deafening crack split the night. The shotgun fired, but not at them. Amos had aimed at the ground, the blast shredding a rosebush. Dirt rained down, Marjorie screamed, and Linda clutched Linda. "You're all trespassers," he roared. "And you're lucky I'm still kind enough to let you walk away." The women fled, their clipboards abandoned in the garden. But the story didn't end there. By morning, the neighborhood was divided. Marjorie spun the tale as an attack on law and order, rallying the HOA allies to press charges. Tommy's confession about helping Amos sparked a quiet rebellion among the neighbors, who had loved Ellie's garden. Susan quit the HOA, sharing Amos's story at the next community meeting, her voice shaking but resolute. The twist came when Amos was arrested not for the gunshots, but for an old HOA lien he'd never paid. The community raised funds for his bail, but the legal battle drained him. One night, he sat in his empty house, staring at Ellie's garden, and suffered a heart attack. He didn't survive. The garden withered, untended. The HOA won, but at what cost? Amos's defiance had exposed the pettiness of their control, but his death left a scar on Willow Creek's heart. Neighbors whispered, torn between sympathy and blame. Was Amos a hero or a fool? Was the HOA enforcing rules or erasing lives? What do you think? Was Amos's stand for his garden a fight for justice, or did it go too far? Share your thoughts on where the line between personal freedom and community rules should be drawn.